This past weekend, I decided to cook up some poor man's burnt ends. And with this, you're using chuck roast instead of a brisket. The idea is that you're not spending as much money on a huge brisket, and you're saving some money by buying a chuck roast. So I bought a couple of chuck roasts. They're in a double pack at Sam's. I don't remember quite what the weight of them were, but it did cost me a little over $35 for 2 chuck roasts. So here I'm cubing them up, and in hindsight, I would have cut these in about half the size, and you'll find out why a little bit later. So we're going to get these cut up, and I didn't really have a good barbecue rub on hand, so we're just going to make a barbecue rub. It's pretty easy to do. We're going to put some salt, not that much salt though, and you're going to do about equal parts of salt, pepper, and then come in with some chili powder. Next, we're going to have some garlic powder, and you want to add a little bit of brown sugar. And if you had some paprika, I would go ahead and say add some paprika or some smoked paprika. I didn't have any on hand, so we ended up skipping that. And go in with some onion powder. And once you get all your ingredients in there, you just want to go ahead and mix it all up until all the ingredients are good and incorporated. And feel free to change this to however you like it to your taste, but I feel this works pretty good for me. Go ahead and get that poured in there, and you want to mix this all together really well. I did about half of it, and then I mixed it all up real good with my hands. You want to make sure you get everything good and covered. You want that seasoning all over all sides of those cubes. Here I have them on a baking sheet. Get them all spaced out pretty good, and we're going to put this on the smoker. So I set the Pit Boss Odessa smoker I set it at 250 degrees, and according to the videos that I watched, they said this should take about 4 hours, and I can tell you that it took me a lot longer than 4 hours. I think because the chunks that I had were a lot bigger, and I should have cut them down a lot smaller, but there they are on the smoker. And again, I did the middle rack here. I should have probably put it on the lower rack. Probably would have taken less time as well, but that's okay. Here I am checking them after about an hour, and I went ahead and seasoned up some baked potatoes, and we're going to put those on the top shelf. Baked potatoes, once they get around 205 degrees, they're done, so I figured I'll go ahead and throw them on, but don't forget to poke some holes in them so they don't blow up while you're cooking them, and so I went ahead and did that. Back down here, so I figured what the heck, we're also going to do some smoked cream cheese. I seasoned that with Kinder's caramelized onion butter and the Sweet Preacher's pork rub and some hot honey, and that cream cheese turned out really good. So when they got up to 165, I did sauce them, and I forgot to video that. I did not sauce them at 165. At 165, I drizzled them with a pretty good amount of honey, and I put some butter in there, and we're going to go back in the smoker, and you're trying to get them up to 205, but I was having some pretty good difficulty doing that. Once I did get them up to 205, I did sauce them to put them back in for a half hour, but then for whatever reason, the internal temperature just would not get back up to 205. So, having said that, they were good, and we ate them, but it was not like knock my socks off good, and it wasn't squishy to where they were like falling apart or anything like that. So that was kind of a bummer, but if I had to do it all over again, I would cut them down to size a little bit smaller. But after, as you can see here, checking my temps on everything, it was getting dark, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to pull these things. We're just going to do with what we have. So as you can see, they look pretty good. They tasted okay. I also smoked some bacon for the baked potatoes. They turned out good. There's the cream cheese. That was absolutely awesome. That turned out really good. Go ahead and give it a try, guys, but I could say I'd probably just do brisket next time and skip the chuck roast, but that's the way it goes. You live and learn. Thanks for watching, guys. Give me a like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time.